The retired judge brought in to act as a neutral arbiter, a referee, if you will, in the Michael Flynn case, is calling a foul today on Attorney General William Barr. You may remember last month, the Justice Department suddenly requested its case against Donald Trump's former national security advisor be dropped altogether. It was a move condemned by independent legal groups, by legal experts alike. The federal prosecutor working on the case quit the case. They all considered that it was a crafted to please the president. Now the independent judge tasked with evaluating that DOJ request to drop Michael Flynn's case says that, yes, Michael Flynn did commit perjury, and his guilty plea of lying to the FBI should not be dismissed. But Judge John Gleeson, that's his name, this arbiter, went even further. He called the department's dismissal, attempted dismissal, quote, corrupt and, quote, politically motivated from his 82-page amicus brief. Quote, the facts surrounding the filing of the government's motion constitute clear evidence of gross prosecutorial abuse. They reveal an unconvincing effort to disguise as legitimate a decision to dismiss that is based solely on the fact that Flynn is a political ally of President Trump. Joining our conversation, former chief of staff for the CIA and the Department of Defense, Jeremy Bash. Jeremy, just tell everyone why this still matters.
It's a huge setback for William Barr. It's a huge setback, Nicole, for President Trump, who is trying to throw out all of the charges against Mike Flynn, who, of course, in the early days of the Trump presidency, actually before the Trump presidency, was secretly discussing with the Russians how the Trump administration and the Russian Federation, the Kremlin, would coordinate their efforts. And when he was confronted about it, he lied to federal officials. Now, we still don't know to this day, Nicole, why did Mike Flynn try to cover his tracks in his work with the Russians? Was it because Donald Trump told him to? And isn't it a fair inference that Donald Trump knew that Flynn was doing it? After all, when Flynn lied to the vice president, Trump didn't say he lied to me also. Apparently, Mike Flynn told Donald Trump the truth about what he was doing, but he didn't tell the FBI. And this matters a great deal, Nicole, because after Mike Flynn pled guilty and admitted in open court that he had lied, that he had committed perjury, that he had committed a felony, and he was prepared to be sentenced, Donald Trump said, basically, I'm going to do a side door, backdoor pardon of this guy because he's my political crony. And now the district court has said, you know, we're not going to accept that motion by the Justice Department, and now this neutral arbiter is backing up the district court in that decision.
See, and that's the smart version. I mean, the political version seems to be that this is a judge appointed by a Republican president who said, get your corrupt BS out of my courtroom. Mike Flynn lied. Mike Flynn admitted to lying. Mike Flynn affirmed his confession of lying in my courtroom. If something changed, you better go explain that. I mean, what is this? What is sort of on a scale of 1 to 10, how rare is it for a judge to say, there's something amok in my courtroom, I'm going to appoint someone from outside the two sides here to figure it out?
With 10 being the most rare, this is a 55. I mean, Nicole, I was a clerk for a trial judge in the district court in the Federal District, Eastern District of Virginia. You know, you have sentencings week in, week out. You've got multiple judges in every jurisdiction. This happens every day in our country where individuals plead guilty and there are sentencings. Never does the Justice Department come along and say, we want to drop all charges. And the only reason it was done, Nicole, let's be absolutely clear, was because Donald Trump was perfectly fine with the way Mike Flynn was covering his tracks with the Russians. It all has to do with Donald Trump supporting the effort to have a secret channel with the Russians and supporting his guy, Mike Flynn, who did it. And he never supported the FBI's prosecution of Mike Flynn. In fact, remember, he did fire Jim Comey, the FBI director, over it. And so This apparently, Nicole, is the law and order president. And in fact, he's undermining the Justice Department at every turn.
What are the realistic expectations for what one federal judge can do that Bob Mueller really didn't accomplish? As you said, we still don't know why Mike Flynn lied. This was a Mueller case, the prosecution of Mike Flynn, that Barr's trying to weasel out of the way he weaseled out of Mueller's initial conclusions. What are the chances that one federal judge can sort of land on the side of the rule of law in a way that no one else has so far with Trump and Barr?
Well, look, I think the judge here and this neutral arbiter, John Gleeson, a former judge and former prosecutor, I think they can shine a light on this corruption. They can call it out, call it for what it is. But at the end of the day, Donald Trump could just pardon Mike Flynn. And I actually predict that's exactly what's going to happen. Donald Trump will try to get William Barr to do his dirty work. But if he doesn't succeed, believe me, a pardon is coming.
It's an unbelievable state of affairs. I hope he does that shining the light on the corruption part first before the pardon. Jeremy Bash, thank you for spending some time with us. It's great to see you.